Now let me tell y'all here, there ain't nothing more heartbreaking than discovering mold on your homegrown tobacco. You've spent all that time and all those months growing it from a seed, harvesting it, curing it, getting all ready, drying it, getting just right, putting it in jars. And then you open the jar a couple of months later, you'd notice through the glass that there is like small, white, sort of hairy deposits on the tobacco. You may notice it in the bottom or around the side somewhere, just the tiniest amount. Most of the tobacco's fine, but there's mold on it. And at this point, I usually have to dump the whole jar, and I've lost that jar. So just to save a lot of y'all a lot of pain, I'm making this video on how to properly store it and prepare it for storage, for long-term storage, so if you want to keep it for years and have it improve. So what I do is I start out in the bag. So this is all Virginia here. Got some different colors depending on how yellow the leaf is when I take it from the plant. So this is ideal Virginia. You can see this is golden, which is why they call it bright leaf. Whereas this stuff here is quite dark. This had more chlorophyll in it. There were greener leaves when I took them, but it's still the same, and it all smokes pretty good. I mean, it smokes great. So anyway, what I do is I take the bag here, and once it's fairly dry, I'll leave it in the bag and I'll keep turning it. Then what I'll do is I'll take one of these devices here. You can get them on the internet real cheap, and it tells you the humidity. That large number there, 67. I've only just put this one in. So, but what you do is you put it in the bag, do the bag up, just fold over there into the bag, you leave it for an hour, and then you have a look at the number. So let's say this one says 67. Now 67 is technically safe at 70. So 70% mold can grow. 70% you got mold, okay? You gotta keep it under 70. Now the cigar smokers will know with humidors that they want to keep it between 60 and 70. Some say 65 and 70 is ideal. For storage of tobacco to be safe, to be absolutely certain, I keep it under 65. Okay, so this one's been out. I only just put this in for the video. This one here should drop down to 63. Now, this is a lot drier than you would expect. A lot drier than you would expect. We are starting to get crispy. You can hear that? It's quite crispy. It's not necessarily falling apart. Like it is crumbling a little bit. Some of them parts of them will get drier than others, obviously, like all the different leaves in this jar. Some are drier than others. But you want to get that. If you get it under 65, it will survive. How's that? So what I do to get it under 65 is I'll keep the bag, and I'll keep, if I feel it's crispier at the front, then I'll rotate the leaves, and I'll take the leaves from the back that may feel more leathery, and I'll bring them to the front, and then I'll keep the bag open. I'll leave it open. If it's a warm, dry day, I'll keep it open for half an hour, and then I'll put it back in. Put it back in. Do the bag up again. Just fold it over so no oxygen can get in. And then you test it again, and you keep going. Now, some purists may say, hey, you're going to lose a lot of the awls if you dry it out too much. And yes, they could be correct about this. However, I like to err on the side of caution. So, yeah. And as far as storage, the ultimate is for storage is the canning jar. I mean, this is the proper way to do it. However, these are okay too. I mean, it's got a flip seal, and it's not as much of a seal as a canning jar, but I believe that it keeps the oxygen out enough. And then you get down to your plastic bags. You know, that's a Ziploc bag. Some people just keep them in bags like this. Not as good long term. If I was going to keep something for, say, 2 years or so, I'd use the canning jar. If I was going to keep it for 1 year, up to 1 year, this. And if I was going to give it away to some friends, I'd give them this and say, I don't know, they can smoke it within a year, and I'm sure it'll still be fine. So anyway, that's what it is. As far as I'm concerned, under 65 is alive. Not the mold. The mold won't be alive, but yeah. Shame I don't have any pictures of the mold. I was so disgusted and throwing it out. It's a real shame to lose a whole jar full of tobacco and from a tiny bit of mold, but this stuff's safe. So here you go. So yeah, happy jarring.